It's Sunday, February 25th, 2018. It's time to wallow on over to the snack tray of thought. It's time for Sunday Smorgasbord. And so, excuse me, as what you're going to see in the title, we're going to talk about a few things here. A few things that I talk about on the Sunday Smorgasbord show, which is whatever I want to talk about. First thing we're going to talk about, E.T.A. You're on, Randy. I know what E.T.A. is. Maybe you do. But there's obviously a lot of people that don't. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos, I work in retail. And when you give somebody an E.T.A., they'll special order something. And you give them an E.T.A. Well, E.T.A. stands for Estimated Time of Arrival. Not exact time of arrival, estimated time of arrival. But too many people do not understand what E.T.A. stands for. And they don't understand the word estimated. Estimated is a rough guess as to when it will be there. Now, most of the times, it's fairly based in knowledge. Knowledge of whatever your business is or whatever your brain knows. But like in the retail industry, they know how long it takes to make some of these special orders. They also know there's contributing factors to them not getting made in time or them getting made early. So when you special order something from a company, they will usually give you an estimated time of arrival. Not an exact time of arrival, estimated. Because they know anything that's made special order will maybe glitch, maybe something will go wrong in the process, maybe something will get postponed, pushed back. The materials might not all be there. They may run out of the materials to make your item. So if they say the E.T.A. is March 25th, it may not get there till March 28th. But so many customers call up on March 25th because they'll say the estimated time of arrival is March 25th. They'll call on March 25th and they'll be pissed their item isn't there. And it's like, look, it's an estimated time of arrival. It hasn't arrived yet. It's still not finished. It may be on its way. It may be doing something. There may be problems, but it's only an estimated time of arrival. It's not an exact time of arrival. So this is to all the people that don't seem to understand the difference between exact and estimated. E.T.A. is estimated time of arrival. In retail, very, very few people are ever going to give you an exact day that it'll be there. Because I deal with a certain truck line. There's a certain truck line that if you call them and you ask that truck line, is it going to be here today? Every single time they will tell you yes. And then they will hope that it is going to be there that day because they don't want to look for it. They can't be bothered to do any kind of customer service. They're just going to hope that it does show up on that day and you'll get your item and you won't call them back. And then a lot of times, even when you call them back, you don't get the same person. So this truck line, I won't mention the truck line because they do have some good things that they do, but I'm not going to publicly bash anybody like that. So, but it's just funny. But E.T.A. is estimated time of arrival. If you ever special order anything and somebody says the E.T.A. is going to be 1 month from now, that's the estimated time. It might be there, it might not. It might be early. Don't count on it. So the next thing we're going to talk about real quick, I made a list of the top 10 cars I wanted to see in Forza Horizon. Well, Forza Motorsport 7 released the Dell car pack. It had 2 of the 10 cars that I wanted. It had the Bugatti Chiron and the Kia Stinger. And you're saying, well, that's not Forza Horizon. Those are in Forza 7. Usually cars like that make it brand new into Forza 7 usually will find their way into Forza Horizon, unless, of course, they are race cars. Purebred race cars probably aren't going to make it, but the Kia Stinger and the Bugatti Chiron are both, they're both production vehicles, so I can pretty much say with 100% confidence those will be in Forza Horizon 4. So it's like, yes, it's like those are the two cars I wanted. I've driven them around a little bit in Forza Motorsport, and there's going to be two other cars because the Dell pack released two more SUVs into my track-based racing game. So those will make it all, those will obviously also make it into the Forza Horizon game because that's where the SUVs will be better. But so yeah, I was pretty happy to see that the Chiron and the Stinger did make it. So the last thing we're going to talk about, a little bit of controversy. The FBI is doing an investigation into players that got paid in college or received benefits, which means maybe their parents got free plane tickets or somebody in their family got a benefit or the player got kicked back a few bucks or whatever the case may be. Um, I did a video on this a long time ago. Pay the players. Your colleges, the bigger colleges especially, make hundreds of millions of dollars off of these players. They just do. If you have bad players and your school isn't anywhere in the top 25 or competing in the tournament, then you don't make any money. But if you have the good players and they're putting you in the tournament and giving you exposure, these players should get paid. I'm sorry, but most of the college basketball players anymore, they're only there long enough to make the NBA. Very few of them are there actually. They're not really there for the education, not the stars. Now, some of the bench players might be because they're never going to make the NBA anyway, so they're playing basketball and they are trying. But some of those guys aren't even scholarship players. So they're still having to pay for their education. To me, an education is a free education is not payment enough, especially to the people that you can use to market your team, like the star players. If you can use a star player to market your team, you should be paying that player some money, or you should at least be letting them benefit somehow. Whether they sell jerseys with, whether you sell jerseys with their number on it and then you kick them back a few bucks, something that is like if their jersey sells, give them some of the money. It's their jersey. It's got their name on it. It's got their number on it. People are buying it specifically because it's their favorite player on that team. Kick that player back some money because you're making money off of it. So why not let the player benefit from it as well? That way you can kind of gauge that way just how well they're doing. And maybe you base it off of, give them a little bit, just, even to recruit them. Say, I can pay you this much. But, when you make hundreds of millions of dollars as these colleges are making, people say, well, it goes to benefit the entire school. Yeah, but if you don't have these kids, I'm sorry, the average person that's going there for an engineering degree isn't going to have the same impact for your school as a star college football player or basketball player. They're just not. It's not the same thing. I couldn't name a single person that's majoring in any degree in any college in the land. Nobody. I can tell you some of the college players that are on some of these teams, but I can't give you a single name of a person that's going for a music degree or, a social science degree, or they're not the ones I'm watching in the NCAA tournament. They're not the ones I'm watching on college football. They're not the ones I'm watching in any kind of college sports whatsoever, usually. I'm watching those colleges, and they're represented to me through sports. They're represented to a lot of people through sports. So if you're watching them on TV, if the SEC is giving this college a ton of money because they are in the SEC and they have a giant TV deal, some of this money needs to go to the players. Because you're not watching the science department teach science classes. You're watching the football program play football games. And that's what we're watching. Nobody's watching somebody teaching, language arts. Nobody's watching anybody teaching, ancient Egyptian, whatever, Sanskrit. I don't know. I didn't go to college, as you can tell. So I don't really know what's there, as a class list. what the curriculum is in any college. But that's also another point. If I root for the University of Michigan or the University of Colorado or something like that, it's because of the players, or it's because of the maybe the loyalty to this particular school. But I'm not watching because you have a strong medical program. I'm watching because you have a strong football program or basketball program, and those kids are the reason for it. And you should, if you're going to pay those coaches millions of dollars, those kids should at least get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of the star players, maybe not the bench players, but you should give them some money too, because if they make the roster, that means they could potentially play. Give them a little bit too, because they are still on that team representing. So pay the players. It's time. It's time to pay the players. Or just let them go straight to the pros. Now, not in football. Football, that would be dangerous. You can't have an 18-year-old kid going up against a 25-year-old man who's been lifting weights and working out for 7 years longer than he has. You could get that poor kid killed. But in basketball, even in baseball, they'll bring up 18 and 19-year-old 19-year-olds to the majors. I mean, it's been done before. Basketball, it's been proven that 18 and 19-year-olds can make it as well. So, if you're not going to pay these players and you're going to make them go to college, and they don't want to go to college, they just want to play basketball, there's no reason to make them go through that college process then. Let them just go straight to the pros. There needs to be something. I get it. College basketball doesn't want to lose its top players because that's how they make their money. But do you see where there's kind of this hypocrisy? You want to make your money, but you don't want those kids to make the money. You want those kids to make you money. So it's not right. It really isn't. Those kids deserve a piece of that pie that they are basically helping bake. So that's basically Sunday Smorgasbord for February 25th, 2018. Just a few thoughts that I had. I forgot to do the channel health. The channel health is, we are still at 4 subscribers. We got 36 views this week, which was up from last week's 33. We have done 59 videos. This is actually the 60th video today. So I did 8 more videos during this past week. So I was happy to see. I had one video that did very well. My LeVar Ball video where I said bad dad or media whiz is actually doing pretty well for me. Now, pretty well for me is getting over 20 views. So at the time of filming this, it got just barely over 20 views, and that for me is a good thing. So remember where I am, 4 subscribers, and I've got a whopping 260 views total on the channel, and I've been doing this for 5 weeks. So thank you for watching. If you watch this, subscribe, like. I appreciate the view. I appreciate anybody who shows up and gives me a few minutes of their time. So with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.